And Yvette Smith has said she's going to sit down and watch while Sheryl Daniels opens things up in match number 3.
Well, Yvette was looking awfully relaxed. Cheryl definitely has an advantage on lane 9. 6 strikes there, only 1 on lane 10. I bet Yvette knows that because Cheryl's going to have to end on lane 10.
Got to pay attention to that score and what lane you put them on.
Now, Yvette is mic'd, and I think we're going to hear some stuff out of her. She's a very emotional, dramatic player. In fact, throughout the week, you can hear her all the time without a microphone. She gets excited with the shot. She's pumped. It's great. Great for bowling.
From Union City, California. Come on, come on, come on! Yes! Oh, 5'2" dynamo. Mother of 2 kids, 9-year-old John, 2-year-old Brianna. She told her kids, if I do well here, I'm going to get you some Michael Jordan shoes. Well, she did more than well. She made it on TV. She did more than make it on TV. She's number 2 qualifier. I think they're going to look at a couple of pairs of shoes here.
Yeah, they're waiting for, I know they're at home waiting for those shoes.
Get up, get up, get up! Oh, wanted it to get up. Left number 10 down. There are her mother and father, AJ and Diane, showing support. She loves to look back in the crowd and see their faces. They mean a lot to her. They watch her children while she's out on the tour, and that gives her an opportunity to do what she enjoys.
Yeah, and that's the only reason she's been able to be out here. You have to have that family support. It's so important.
And she converts in the second on lane 9 as Sheryl Daniel steps up on lane 10.
Cheryl wanted to thank Bill Calhoun. He helped her in realizing that she hadn't been playing her A game or her power game, so she wanted to make sure that he knew her from way back when, and he's helped her a lot. She knew that wasn't good from the get-go. Sends this ball wide, still sliding, catches that strip of conditioner, is not coming back. Cheryl was caught in between using a ball earlier that hooked a lot more than this one. Was getting in trouble, now went to this. If it continues to carry down, she may have to switch back.
So after a strike, it's a rough start for Sheryl Daniels here in match number 3, but back in the day, Lisa Wagner, who's sitting next to me, won here in 1983. You're looking at Lori Nichols, her picture. She won in 86-87. And Alita Sill, who's still obviously very active on the tour, was a winner here back in 84.
Lori Nichols still bowls a lot of events.
She likes 9.
Ooh, that ball very, very light. Fortunate to take that break.
That's why she likes 9.
Watch this, the ball really not turning over. It's going to skid long again, just touching the head pin, dancing off the wall.
It's funny, but that's where power comes in. Earlier we saw Audrey Mullen doing the same thing, but she just couldn't get the pin action, didn't have the same power.
Ooh, bad shot there.
Brooklyn, but gets it. Whoa, really?
I never carry those.
Tough one to analyze her shot on. It was a bad shot, but look at the head-high backswing. That's where she generates her power and drives through hard with her leg. She's a little bit late with her timing. She pulls it, and that time pulled it a little too much. Carry to Brooklyn.
I never carry, she shouted.
Yeah, she's all muscle, all power, this lady. She can throw hard and overpower the...
Get up, get up!
Oh, boy. That could have been a lot uglier. We were looking at a 7-10, but 7 cooperated.
She'll be happy to take just the 10 pin on that shot. In the pocket, could have carried, but half pocket here. Head pin off the wall, took the 7 out.
Nicely done. Alternating strikes and spares as her parents clench their jaw, watching. Brooklyn for her, too. We'll take it.
Okay, she tried to keep that one in tighter because of the washout. Didn't let it out. Crossed over Brooklyn. She's a little confused at this point. See, only out to about maybe the 15th board at most. Okay, I'll take it, but then she went back, put her hand on her chin, and like, I don't know what's happening. Lanes are changing for her right now.
Well, that looked like a nice shot.
Yeah, but almost a 7-10 again,
Yeah.
as we just saw with Yvette. Kicking out the 7, though. That was closer, but again, it's lane 9. A lot more successful on that lane. Changes balls, covers the spare.
So Sheryl Daniels is not exactly resolved as she sits down.
So for those of you who are wondering if Yvette is kind of putting on a show for TV, no. This is how she is all week.
From the high of 267 to the low of 172. Her emotions are just as high, just as low. That one came right on the nose.
And again, pulling the ball left, she knows it. Making motion of that. Yeah. Right now, she's maybe thinking it should have held, but actually missed left to target, it looked like, on that shot again. As I said, it's very, very warm out there, and when you perspire, you tend to try to grip at that ball. When you do it, you'll miss left a lot of times. So trying to hook this at it.
Oh, boy.
That's a tough spare to get. She needed the ball to hit the right side of the 3-pin and drive through and take out the 9. Ball hooked up too soon. 3-pin went behind the 6 and took out the 10.
So again, it came up a little too high on both the first shot and the second. Down by 12 in the 6th.
Come on, come on. Yeah.
She shouted that one down. Yvette Smith said, hey, my folks are here. I didn't come here to bowl just a few frames and choke. She gets back on track. Sheryl Daniels still trying to figure things out. Don't go away.
Well, one of the reasons that Yvette wanted to be out here was to set an example for her children. They're number 1 in her life.
Goes Brooklyn again, but doesn't clear the deck.
Really struggling on lane 10. She has a lot of ball speed and normally can overpower the hook part of the lane and just kind of tug it right up and at the pocket. But right now, going Brooklyn, punching the nose, she has to make a move.
And she converts. All week, Sean Whalen has been the ball caddy for Yvette Smith. We asked her, what did he mean to her?
He meant a lot to me. He was my focus point. All he told me is, Yvette, keep smiling. You keep smiling, it's going to happen. So he was very supportive of me. He meant more to me than I probably did to him. So I want to say thank you.
And she said a lot more than thank you last night when we interviewed her when she made the show. He had gotten her a little gift, this little stuffed animal. He wrote her a note of encouragement. It was beyond keep smiling. It was someone to look back to when she made bad shots. It was someone to look back to when she made good shots. And it was an opportunity for her to stay steady. As you can see, she's a very emotional bowler, and it was just nice to have a familiar face in the house to focus on. Remember, she's from California, Union City, California. So the family doesn't always come out and support you, for financial reasons, plus they're minding the kids. But when she made the TV finals, they got on that plane.
Great shot there by Yvette, choosing to hook the ball in there. This is how she really wanted to pick up the 3-6, 9-10 she just left, hitting the right of the 3-pin. The ball deflects into the 10.
We spoke of Sean Whalen. The ball caddying is so important, Jan. It is so important. You don't have it in every house, but in the summer you get them a little more often because the young guys are home, youngsters are home, and they can help handle those balls. How was your ball caddy this week?
Oh, he was great. Hey, my nephew, Brandon Dodgel, and my niece, Barbara Dodgel, they both helped me caddy. But it is help because people don't realize nowadays we go through so many bowling balls, and sometimes you leave them at one end of the house, you make your turn, you don't want to carry 8 or 10 balls with you. Now all of a sudden you need them again, and somebody has to run and get them, so it's a big, big help. '18th year on tour. She has 10 national titles, 13 in the regional. And
Sheryl Daniel is so multi-talented. We said she got into the architecture. We talked. Oh, the weakest strike I've seen. We talked about some of the other things she has done. A very, very diverse individual, and certainly a talented athlete. Yvette Smith is up in the 9th. Now, we talked about Sheryl Daniel's singing career. These are the demo cassettes that she started. She wants to elaborate, make it a full-blown, CD cassette series. But Sheryl Daniel sings pop and rhythm and blues, and she's even gotten into producing the music.
Yeah,
Get up.
She writes them also.
And you saw Yvette Smith shouting, "Get up, get up, get up." It got up, and they went down.
This was a great shot. Yvette finally figured out lane 10, made a move left, sent the ball just a little bit right. No doubt on that one.
203, the maximum score now for Yvette Smith.
If she strikes out, though, she can force Cheryl to get the first strike.
That's obviously what you want to do, put the pressure on your opponent. Well, what you really want to do is be so far out of reach. Yeah, she's on her way.
She doesn't even know it's the 10th frame.
She forgot it was the 10th?
She didn't know. She's not looking at the score. This was the first shot in the 10th. Beauty.
Working shot by shot. Yeah.
Wow. She must be strong. Person could get hurt running them out like that. Okay, this is an important shot. Needs this one to force Sheryl Daniels to get the first one.
Well, Mom and Dad sure look poised.
Come on, get up, get up.
Yes, get it again. Yeah. It's a turkey for Yvette Smith. One more to go for the 203.
Mom was slapping it off there also. We know where she gets her emotion right now. Yvette is trying to regroup, hold it back. She still needs to make a good shot.
Now you know she wants to fly out of that seat. Diane and AJ trying hard not to bite their nails. Diane very involved in bowling. She knows exactly what's at stake here, and she did it! Yes! She did it! She forces the issue. She could max out at 203, and she did! Now Sheryl Daniels not only has to respond, but she has to kind of follow this loud crowd. A strike in 9 to get the win. But first, this strike. She needs a strike. Come back. It didn't.
My. She really was never lined up on lane 10. Yvette's strategy to have Cheryl finish on that lane was huge in this match. Huge. Cheryl only missed once on lane 9, and it was a 10-pin. Lane 10, she only struck once this game.
So for Sheryl Daniels, it is 3rd place after qualifying 3rd. $4,600 for her. Boy, it looked like she hit that right. It just didn't go over far enough. Wendy McPherson is our top qualifier. She is from Henderson, Nevada, and she has opted to bowl first.
She has, and that's an interesting choice. I have to believe she has a better shot on lane 10 versus lane 9, because otherwise I would think she'd want to put the pressure on Yvette to finish last.
And the crowd vigorously behind her, shouting, get in there, but the 10-pin does not get in there.
Same 10-pin we've seen from everyone.
13 titles for Wendy McPherson Papanos. Her average this week, a lofty 219 plus, almost 220.
Changes balls here to shoot the spare.
And that puts a smile on her face. A little relief getting that first one out of the way. It's so hard waiting in the wings. But it's nice to know the worst you can do is finish second. Now we look at Yvette Smith and her love of the lanes.
Now, both pretty equal. Looks like lane 9's a hair better, but when she finished there, she was able to strike out. So that's where those 4 strikes, 3 of them came from.
Came up high.
Tough opening shot. She looked a little slow on that shot.
She smiled at first, but then she realized, I got a problem here.
Just a little bit slow with her ball speed there, never got it to slide.
So that 7 is a big problem. How do you pick this one up?
She wants to hit the right of the 3-pin with her ball and shoot the 3 over. Oh. Almost just like that.
Just light to the right side of that 3-pin, and it didn't go far enough to take out the 7. 61 bowlers began this week. Average to cash was just over 194, almost 195. To make match play 204, to make the TV show 210.
Those are pretty good numbers. They're well within a range, an average type of range, not too low, not too high.
Well, the folks at MasterCard are breathing a sigh of relief because neither bowler is open with a strike. If you do strike on television, MasterCard will give you $50,000. The trick is first to get on TV. The second trick is to lay down all those strikes.
Yeah, actually you have to shoot a 300, not just strike. You need 12 strikes in a row in the same game. So just so we clarify, MasterCard
That's true.
doesn't want to give away $50,000
for somebody who opens with a strike.
Coming up late there. Someone in the audience very disappointed by that shot.
In 1997, Wendy McPherson Papanos set some serious records. She won 4 titles. Then she said she had 12 television appearances that tied Leanne Barrett's record in 1990 and Carol Giannotti Block's record in 1992. And of course, twice she was named Bowler of the Year, Player of the Year.
Covers up that 2-8 with her spare ball.
And there you see the career money leaders, Wendy McPherson Papanos at number 4 with the 710. But look at Alita Sill closing in on the $1 million mark. Next to us, our scorekeeper, she's at number 3, Lisa Wagner at 754 plus, almost 755. So the money's getting there, but still not one female bowler has won $1 million in her career. Come on. Whoa. That wasn't slow motion, folks. That was real speed.
It sure did look like slow motion. It came in late behind the head pin, and it really didn't look like anything was pushing hard enough to get the 7 out. Watch this ball finish late, head pin off the wall, 5-pin over.
Boom.
Boy, it didn't look like it was hitting it hard enough.
No. But looks don't count. You know, her first time out on the tour in 1998 was in Jacksonville, Florida, and that's where she had her best finish. As she puts up 2 in a row. Dad's looking cool. Mom looks a little tight. I just saw a big sigh of relief there. She said, oh, good, she got 2.
Yvette leads by 1 pin right now. She wanted to make sure she was able to thank Curtis Odom for all of his help this week in laying out equipment and helping her make moves on the lanes. Again, ball rep situation. A lot of the players had them.
I don't know what Curtis Odom was saying to the folks, but a lot of women have been commenting, Curtis Odom. Oh, I want to thank Kurt. Stay up! I'll tell you, he was saying the right things, because she's doing the right things. The turkey for Yvette Smith, 2, 3, and 4. I'll have to put on the wide-angle lens to catch this reaction. She moved over 2 lanes, and we had to turn down the audio.
She can't go any farther. There's a crowd there. Wendy's trying to get into it now.
And she's into a 2 in a row for Wendy. 2 spares, 2 strikes. It's still a 1-pin match. This is the way you like to see the championship here at the Hammer Players Championship.
2 very different styles here as far as personality, as far as their emotions and how they allow it to play their game. Wendy, more laid back. You really don't see a lot out of her unless she's maybe in arena finals. Then she changes her demeanor just a little bit. But hard for Wendy to really get into it the way Yvette does.
So we've got turkeys all around here at the Cherry Bowl. The excitement continues on ESPN. Visionary Bowling Products Classic, that's when the fall tour begins, September 13th through 17th at Tiki Lanes. And then the PWBA will return to Newcastle, Delaware for the 10th annual Columbia 300 Open. The Pro-Am portion presented by First USA. Entries are limited, so be sure to get your entry in early. Call the PWBA if you have any questions. Oh, from 3 strikes to a disaster.
Looking down at the approach. Probably slipped a little bit. Watch her wipe her feet now.
You called it.
She did slide out in the shot. Probably thought she was going to fall. Going to foul, actually, and just laid off the shot. Fortunate it didn't go in the channel. This 5 count, if she's lined up to the pocket, she should be able to pick it. Again, wiping her feet.
You know, you had a great tip. She was slipping with the feet, but about when your hands get clammy and sweaty, you do something unique with your hands. What do you use?
I put a little alcohol on a towel and squeezed that towel before I got up, and it dried out my hands.
In her case, it was slippery feet, but the alcohol in a towel, I think, is a brilliant idea. Some other players use the wet wipes because they have a high alcohol content as well.
Or some of them just even wet a towel just to get
the oil off.
Yeah,
but,
actually dry up. It dries you up a little bit, actually.
I'm talking about the oil in your hands, just the sweating.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Down by 14.
That 5 count was pretty critical on a turkey like that. Ooh, they look serious now.
Dad doesn't even want to watch. Yeah. Someone yelled, "Go girl," and she did. A very, very close match here at the Cherry Bowl. A big title, a big paycheck at stake. It is the Hammer Players Championship on ESPN, and we'll be back with the final 4 frames. But first, these messages. By finishing 42nd this week and cashing, Alita Sills set a record. She is the fastest woman to surpass the $100,000 plateau in a single year. She broke Wendy McPherson-Papanos' record, which was set last year. And there is Wendy McPherson-Papanos, and she is waiting to be given the green light as she steps up in the 6th. She leads by 14 and has 3 in a row.
And again, she reached down with her hand and wiped her shoe off before she stepped up. Approaches did tend to be on hair on the slicker side. Players often, you see a good look at her shoe. She wears the high top. Those particular shoes, you can change discs, so you can get a different slide on the lane.
Last year, she made $165,000 plus. This year, her year-to-date earnings are only at $28,000, but she said she is a fall bowler, and the reason she thinks she's done so well this summer, she's getting closer to the fall. Only 3 TV appearances this year, all 3 of them on the summer swing.
Wendy's working her way back into the form we saw her last year.
So her string ends at 4. So we take a look at some other top finishers. You know, I said at the head of the telecast, Jan, that you were no less than 8, and that is indeed how you finished. I want to say something here. Jan Schmidt, I truly admire you. I mean, with, you know, the pro-ams and all the bowling, you bowled like 80 games this week, and you still had time to work with the kids from MDA. God bless you for giving yet another pint of blood.
Well, so did a lot of the other players here. They do a lot of things. It's a very busy week, very tough out here.
Well, you're gracious in deferring, but you give more than your share.
Thanks.
All right, so the conversion for Wendy McPherson sets things up for Yvette Smith, who is working on a strike in the 6th. So, oh,
coming high, leaving that 4 pin.
Here you see the situation for Yvette Smith as we take another look at the shot. What's
Jumping
going
up
wrong?
just a little high. She's been having a little trouble on that lane. Again, there, licking her fingers and just getting her feet a little moist there so she doesn't slide as much. She's going to shoot at the spare. Using her strike ball, same ball. Can hook across at it.
And does. So our last 3 frames have been spare, strike, spare as we continue. There you see the numbers still down by 23 for Yvette Smith.
Robin Masanti in 18th rolls our switch. She was watching Tori this week. Allison Allmang and Jody Ellis, newcomers, 20th and 21st. Good job in the Players' Championship.
And there you saw Lisa Wagner, Anne-Marie Dugan, and Karen Stroud. Anne-Marie Dugan bowled a high game of 299. Good for her. I asked her if she cried when she bowled a 299, and she said, no, maybe if it was my first 300 game, I would have cried, but you don't cry when you bowl a 299. It's a good score.
Yeah, you're happy. Of course you want the 300, but
I would have cried anyway.
Well, coming up light now with the 2 pin. Yvette just trying to, you know, it's crunch time now. She knows she needs to strike. She's down in the match by 23 pins. Definitely crunch time.
So it's 2 spares in a row for Yvette Smith. And her mom's quickly adding the numbers. Wendy McPherson Papanos leads by 24. Her high game this week, 268, low 165. She's had a great week.
I want to quickly mention Dr. David Millard at Chiromed. He helped the ladies this week. They were able to go use his services. Always a big help to everyone out here. And Wendy just opened the door for Yvette Smith.
Wendy qualified 18th and then was no lower than 2nd for all the rest of the rounds here this week.
Getting this ball a little bit wide, coming in real late, not into a good roll. She's going to go for it with this spare ball, trying to hit the left side of the 2-pin.
Didn't do it, just got the 2 of them. So a woman who has not won a title yet in 1998, but is the 2-time defending bowler and player of the year, leaves room to finish 2nd again as her lead dwindles to +8.
She really needs to set up a strike here. If she doesn't, Yvette Smith's going to be able to step up and win this tournament.
Maximum score on a punch out is 231. That's step 1. Now, Yvette Smith needs to go off the page herself to put the pressure back on McPherson.
She does. She can strike out for exactly 223. She can force Wendy to double. We saw it last match. Will we see it again this match?
Get up, get up, get up, get up! Yeah!
All right, a strike in the 9th to open things up.
Boy, she throws it good under pressure. She's been pulling the ball just a little. See how she let that one out? Good rotation. She knew it.
Oh, did she ever? In fact, the people in the building next door knew it.
I wonder if she's looking around for a ladybug. That was her good luck this week. Ladybug in their own.
Ladybug that hung out all week.
This strike to take the lead.
She's lucky that didn't split.
Yeah, she was left to target on that one. Best she can do now is spare it up. Here's that shot coming in high. Broke out the 10 pin. If she spares it up, she's going to force Wendy to mark. Spare and good count.
203 is her maximum score now with a spare and a strike. Got the spare.
A little bit disappointed in that shot. See, she's kind of going, oh, well. But nothing to be disappointed about the way she performed this week.
Absolutely not. And this is where Wendy McPherson's strategy may have paid off. She said, I want you to finish on 9. She's on lane 9. Had the spare. Got the strike here, so it's not a cakewalk for Wendy by any stretch of the imagination. 203, the score for Yvette Smith.
Wendy's taking a re-rack. Now she needs a mark. She has just left a split on this lane coming in light.
She had a strike in the 9th frame. She's up in the 10th.
Yeah, in the 8th, the last time up on lane 10, she split. Yeah. See if she makes a move to get it to drive, but she doesn't want it to drive too hard.
Came wide and didn't come back.
Oh my goodness. And again, the same reaction. 2-4, 8-10. She has to pick up this spare to win this tournament. It can be picked up. It can be with a 4-pin there. You can. She wants to hook the ball. She's going to use her strike shot, hook it across. She wants to get the ball to just touch the 2-pin. And they'll take out the 4. The 4 will hit the 8, and they'll shoot across. Just like this.
Oh! But only gets 2 pins. And Yvette Smith is in tears, and she's shouting to Mom and Dad. Yvette Smith has won the Hammer Players Championship here in Rockford, Illinois. $16,000 for Yvette Smith as she eliminates #1 qualifier Wendy McPherson. Our final score, 203 to 197. She's happy, she's sad, she's excited, she's elated. She doesn't even know it. That's going to be a lot of sneakers for the kids back in California. We'll be back.